Hi everyone, my name is Junon. I have a health science background and I'm the author of the book Truth and Empathy, How to Find Your Soulmate. And I'll put a link to the book below. This video is the MBTI personality type assessment of Prince William. When it comes to the 16 MBTI personality types, they can be grouped into four main ones. The first one are sensor judgers, the second sensor perceivers, the third intuitive thinkers, and the last one intuitive feelers. To me, Prince William is a sensor perceiver, and I will explain why. Again, I have some notes on screen so I don't miss anything. William Arthur Philip Lewis was born on June 21st, 1982 in England. He is now 39 years old. He's a member of the British royal family. Since his birth, he has been second in line of the succession to the British throne. William was educated at Wetherby School, Ludgrove School, and Eton College. He spent part of his gap year in Belize and Chile before earning a Scottish Masters of Art degree in geography at the University of St. Andrews. William then trained at Royal Military Academy Sandhurst prior to serving with the Blues and Rolls. In April 2008, William graduated from Royal Air Force College Cranwell, joining the RAF Search and Rescue Force in early 2009. He served as a full-time pilot with the East England Air Ambulance from July 2015, and that is for 2 years. The Duke performs official duties and engagements on behalf of the Queen, Elizabeth II, of course. He holds patronage with over 30 charitable and military organizations, including the Tusk Trust, Centrepoint, and London's Air Ambulance Charity. He undertakes projects through the Royal Foundation with his charity work revolving around mental health, conservation, and emergency workers. In 2011, William was named Duke of Cambridge, preceding his marriage to Catherine Middleton. The couple has 3 children, Prince George, Charlotte, and Prince Louis of Cambridge. If we look at Prince William's life, it is more preset compared to, let's say, other sensor perceivers, because obviously he's heir to the throne and he has to make choices within those boundaries. But there are certain, let's say, of his actions and how he comes across that points to someone who is most like your sensor perceiver. One thing is that Prince William, after he graduated from high school, decided to take a gap year and interact with the commoners, quote unquote. So he's the type of person who views himself and others as equals. So it's not surprising that he went to Chile, he went to Belize to interact with others and actually do just normal jobs. Actually, at some point he was saying that he was cleaning the toilet, so he doesn't think that it's he's above that. Even I remember watching this movie. I know it's a dramatization, but he was mentioning that he thinks that soon people will do away with monarchy altogether. So he doesn't perceive himself as, quote unquote, the future king. And that is typical of sensor perceiver. He's the type of person who wants to embrace different cultures and open up his mind. Actually, I was reading in terms of his biography that he even learned Swahili because this is something that he's interested in. Even in terms of what he studied in university, he started in art history. So this is something that points to someone who is interested in things that are sort of different. So in other words, he likes to explore more of a creative side. The other aspect is whether or not William is a masculine versus feminine energy. I would say that he's most like a feminine energy because even when he went into the army, he didn't want to be in the front line. So you'll see feminine energy is more empathic. It's not really interested in violence per se. So he was more in terms of the army, he is doing like rescue ambulance work. So that is more in line with someone who's a feminine energy compared to, let's say, if you look at Harry, who really wanted to be a soldier. So Harry, I type him as an ESTP because of the fact that he comes across as less empathic and more sort of like tolerant of this type of like this sort of maybe danger of putting himself in the front lines. And the other point also that would point to Willem being a feminine is that what he studied in university. So he was attracted to art history and also geography. So these are the fields that mostly someone who's right brain dominant will be attracted to. And even if you look at the dynamic between him and his wife, there is a sort of a gentle and softness between these two. So you don't see him come across as a very sort of like masculine stoic. Like he seems to be more in touch with his feelings compared to Harry. The other aspect when it comes to feminine energy is that they're more accommodating than masculine energy. So it's not surprising that Prince William was more able to fit in with the royal family. Although when you think about it, the whole monarchy, it is a censor judger sort of traditional type of institution. And censor perceivers are actually at the opposite end. But feminine is more likely to make compromises to fit in, and compared to, let's say, Harry, who actually he left and went to the States with his wife. So it's not surprising you'll see this sort of this rift. The other aspect is whether Prince William is an introvert versus extrovert. I would say that Prince William comes across as an introvert because he doesn't seem very at ease in the limelight. Even in the early days, like he literally is like trying to protect himself from the photographers and paparazzis, and you can see like his head is often down. You don't rarely see him in the news. He's someone who seems to be able to recharge alone, maybe with his like wife or his children, but he doesn't like crowds. And especially the fact, obviously, his mother died because of being pursued by paparazzi. So already you see that, he has a history of not trusting, reporters or people who are trying to intrude into his personal life. So I would say that based on this information, Prince William is most likely an ISFP. To summarize, I would type Prince William as an ISFP because he probably views himself and others as equals. So he didn't mind doing his gap year after his high school to go to Chile, and he was doing the work like everybody else, cleaning toilets. Even when he was a pilot and joined the army, he wanted to be treated like everybody else as well. So the other point also, he views probably monarchy as an institution that might not survive for very long. So he doesn't perceive himself as sort of the next king, and like his identity is not very much linked to that. The other point is that I would view him as a feminine energy because he's not someone who he is very much interested in being in the front line. So you'll see that masculine energy want to be a soldier, they want to be in the action, but he's more interested in air ambulance and be able to be like more of a sort of caregiver. So not something that would put him at risk, physical risk, because probably for him is like more violence than anything else. The other point also is that he also what he majored in, so he studied art history. That is very much of a right predominant type of interest. And I would also type him as an introvert because he doesn't seem to thrive in the limelight. Actually, he seems to be someone who likes to have his privacy with his family. So let me know if you agree or disagree with this precise type assessment by commenting below. If you enjoyed this video, please click on the like button, subscribe to my channel, and we will talk soon.